Welcome back. It is always nice when we can make a trip to Murfreesboro to catch up with the Executive Director of Main Street Murfreesboro, Sarah Callender. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
And we're here for a special purpose this month. You all just celebrated 40 years, a 40-year celebration.
That's right. So since 1985, the Main Street program has been a part of the historic downtown of Murfreesboro.
What is that like to be a part of this downtown area for 40 years?
It's humbling to know the stories of how it started and how, if you look back and do the research, which we have done a lot of, in the 1980s, you know, so many of the buildings were empty. It was urban sprawl, the malls were opening, and so our historic downtown was at a crisis point, which is like so many downtowns across the country during that time. And this city rallied together to apply to the state to become a Main Street program, and through that selection process, they were able to get the tools to focus on revitalization. And so, you know, over the next decade, they really put money into updating the sidewalks and the utilities and encouraging growth. And now we see the positive impact of all the work that those people did.
If you've been to the square here in Murfreesboro, it is hopping. I don't care what time you come down here, whether it's the afternoon, the morning, which because I just drove around, the afternoon or the evening time. It's incredible.
It is. Every year we have new businesses that open, and it's a blessing. It is hard to find vacant space for entrepreneurs, and we're constantly getting people looking, especially people moving here that want to start a business. It's hard to find a space that's vacant, but we like to, a part of the celebration is acknowledging those property owners and business owners that move into a new space that maybe was vacant, and they put the money into revitalizing an empty space. And so every year we're able to celebrate people that have done that. So you're right, like so many new restaurants.
How have you celebrated this 40-year celebration?
Well, we kicked it off with our annual celebration in March. And just had a lot of people come to the event to be able to honor the different people who've played a role in the beginning of starting Main Street. We were able to recognize Ann Davis with the Doug Young Leadership Award because she was actually the one who worked for the city, and within 2 weeks she got the application from the state, got $70,000 raised to pay for a salary for a position to be the director of the Main Street program, and rally the businesses to sign up to agree for this revitalization project. So we just acknowledged work that she had done 40 years ago, which she was totally honored by that. But then 13 businesses we found out have been open starting from 1904.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
No.
So they have been open, these 13 businesses have passed down the business name, whether selling it or within their family, just around here in the public square and the blocks off of the square. What did I say? Pastime Barber Shop. It's the oldest one, 1904.
You would have no idea walking by it now unless, you know, you probably go inside or unless, you know, you talk to Main Street Murfreesboro. That's incredible. You have trash cans out too.
Yes, so that's part of a partnership with the city of Murfreesboro. And it was perfect timing with the 40th anniversary. We were able to select pictures from the Rutherford County Archives. And so we have historical pictures on each side of each individual trash can that has a view from where you're looking. Maybe it's a historic building or a family that owned a business in the 1900s. So they're all historical pictures, but they tell the story of our downtown.
I love that. That's wonderful. And then you have a mural too that we can visit.
That's right.
Share that.
So on the Walnut House, which is located on Walnut Street, on the outside of their building, they have a mural wall, and they allowed us to do a timeline of the history of downtown Murfreesboro. So we started with the 1800s when Murfreesboro was first established, with the Rutherford County Courthouse being one of the oldest courthouses in Tennessee. And we just took segments through the timeline up until 1985. And we had 14 artists that donated their time. They painted huge murals based on a picture that we assigned them. And it tells the timeline. It's got things like when they discovered the well that had been closed up in front of the courthouse. When they did the revitalization in the 80s, they discovered there was this well from where the horses used to come, and the Center for the Arts, which, when it was first built, was the first post office for Rutherford County. So there's an MTSU, when they first opened, is the first university. So just all this history, but it tells a story of people that were involved in those.
I love that, a walk through history. Anyway, are there any history tours in Murfreesboro?
There are. So even in our building,
okay.
The Heritage Center is right next door, and they're part of MTSU, and they have students that will take you on a historic tour. They have brochures. They even have an online app that you can download. And so we're part of a historic district off of Main Street where there's lots of houses that are on the historic register.
Okay.
Our courthouse is on the historic register. But you can go through the Heritage Center and take a tour with somebody, or just use the brochures that they have, the pamphlets, and they'll tell you where to go and what the history is.
Love that. I'm just going to throw this out there. If you're looking for a staycation as we move into our spring and summer months, this would be perfect. Just hitting your Tennessee towns and taking a history tour like the one you can take right here in Murfreesboro. That's wonderful. Anything else that you're doing this year?
We're getting ready for our farmers market. It kicks off in May. So that's our next big event, but just promoting to remember during these times to shop local and support your small business owners. And what better way to do that than to come downtown where over 500 businesses are located, all locally owned. So it's a great 500 businesses within a 30-block radius.
So as you have maybe other entrepreneurs wanting to come here, will you just continue to grow out from the square area?
There are a lot of projects that are underway with the City Council of Murfreesboro. The daylighting of the Town Creek against Broad Street, that's underway right now. So that'll be completed at the end of this year. And that's going to be a whole creek that they're uncovering along Broad Street that will have a greenway that connects to the greenway at Cannonsburg. So it's going to be a lot more walkable, but with that space, there are other projects. There's one called the Keystone Project that's underway with City Council right now that will create condos, apartments, and mixed use. So there will be more retail space available for entrepreneurs. So I think as new development comes, it allows more space for people who want to start a business.
Last question for you, Sarah, for you. What is it like for you to be a part of this?
It is an honor. I mean, I've lived in this town since 1998. I'm not from here, but like so many other people that are transient, that are moving to Murfreesboro, it's special to make people feel like they have a community, that they're a part of it. So whether you want to volunteer with Main Street at an event, or you just come to an event, we have free concerts in the farmers market. The whole point of our mission is to bring people downtown so they feel like this is the heart of their community, and they feel like they belong, and everybody belongs in our downtown. So it's an honor for me to be able to spread that message.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. If you don't live here in Murfreesboro, make a visit to the square area here in Murfreesboro. It is worth the trip. Visit those businesses. The food, I tell you, is on point, and the coffee's really good. I mean, anything that you might want, you have it right here on the square. Executive Director of Main Street Murfreesboro, Sarah Callender, we always appreciate your time. Happy 40 years.
Thank you, Stephanie.
You're very welcome. Stick with us. We'll be right back.